Kevin Harvick to Hendrick? What's that all about? And there have been some major changes to my power rankings after an enlightening Dover race. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. In case you missed it, last night I posted my Dover race recap and analysis. Talked all about Denny Hamlin's big win. He was able to hold off Kyle Larson in the closing laps. We vent about air blocking, Corey Haim's Cup debut, all that and much more. Click right up here or click the link down in the description below. One topic I did not get to last night really had nothing to do with that race itself, but has everything to do with a future race. Kevin Harvick announced during the FS1 pre-race show that he will drive the Hendrick Motorsports number 5 car during All-Star Race practice and qualifying at North Wilkesboro Speedway. He will sub for Kyle Larson, who will still be in Indianapolis attempting to qualify for the Indy 500. Kyle Larson expects to be in North Wilkesboro for Saturday night's heat races and then of course Sunday's All-Star Race. But Hendrick Motorsports is giving Kevin Harvick the title of standby driver. So if for whatever reason Larson can't make it to North Wilkesboro Saturday night, we could see Kevin Harvick drive the number 5 car in an actual race. That would be pretty insane. Kevin Harvick, of course, has not raced in NASCAR since last fall's finale at Phoenix. Harvick raced at North Wilkesboro Speedway last season, finished 18th in the Stewart-Haas Racing number 29 throwback. I know it's an exhibition race and Harvick may not actually race, just practice and qualify, but this is still very interesting news. It's a very interesting choice. Kevin Harvick may not be driving race cars full time anymore, but I'm sure he's still capable of providing great feedback. Look, it would have made all the sense in the world to put Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the number 5 car. You know, tie it into the Hendrick 40th anniversary. Dale Earnhardt Jr. obviously loves North Wilkesboro, but that's not happening. Maybe there was a schedule conflict. Who knows? Maybe Fox wanted to put Kevin Harvick in the 5 car for content. I don't know, but my theory is that Rick Hendrick knows just how important the short ovals are, especially come playoff time. Look, I know Hendrick Motorsports ran really well at Martinsville a few weeks back, but at Phoenix, the championship track in March, not a single Hendrick Motorsports car finished inside the top 10. At Bristol a few weeks ago, another playoff track, Toyota dominated, won the race. Same thing at Richmond a few weeks ago. A Toyota led the most laps and a Toyota went on to win. Short ovals are so important come playoff time. Rick Hendrick knows you can never have too much information. Kevin Harvick, even at this stage in his career, makes teams better. Few in the garage give as good of feedback as Kevin Harvick. My theory is that Rick Hendrick wanted a veteran driver with next-gen experience to come in, make some laps, and maybe help diagnose whatever short-track shortcomings Hendrick Motorsports may have. That's just my theory. Now, maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't even know. Are they paying Kevin Harvick for this? I know Kevin Harvick Incorporated represents a bunch of NASCAR drivers, none of which are Hendrick Motorsports drivers. So is Harvick willing to help Hendrick? How much can he help in a short period of time? Is that even what he's there to do? A lot of questions, but it will be surreal seeing Kevin Harvick behind the wheel of a Hendrick Motorsports Chevy subbing for Kyle Larson at North Wilkesboro Speedway All-Star Weekend. Just for practice and qualifying right now, but hey, you never know. Very surprising announcement for sure, but I think my theory is correct. Let me know if you agree or disagree down in the comment section below. It's Monday, which means it's time for the latest edition of my Out of the Groove weekly Power Rankings, where I rank the top 10 fastest drivers and teams in the NASCAR Cup Series right now. Let's take a look, because this week I've made some considerable changes. For example, I've bumped Christopher Bell out of my top 10 for the first time all year. Look, I still feel like he could show up and win any week, but now he has 5 finishes outside the top 30 in the first 11 races. That's no good. And that's why he's fallen to 17th in the regular season standings. I also want to give a shout out to Kyle Busch. Started on pole, ran top 10 all day, finished 4th at Dover. Hopefully they can string a few good runs together. That pit crew still concerns me. It didn't bite them this week, but they did make a mistake not getting the car full of fuel. That Stenhouse caution bailed them out. Let's get to number 10, Ross Chastain. Look, I had to move him back a couple spots because 12th at Dover is a huge disappointment. This guy finished 2nd and 3rd here the last 2 years, led a bunch of laps. 12th with 0 laps led? Extremely underwhelming. No stage points either. Yeah, huge disappointment, but Chastain is still top 10 in points, so I'll keep him inside my top 10 for the time being. Welcome back to the Power Rankings, Ty Gibbs. I've got him at the number 9 spot, which may be a little high. He did get off to a really hot start this year, cooled off, but still sits 8th in the regular season standings. A 10th place finish at Dover was his first top 10 in nearly a month, but even during that 4-race streak with no top 10 finishes, his average finish was still 17.5. His worst finish was like 22nd. It's not like he's wrecking out. He's not terrible. When Ty Gibbs first moved up to the Cup Series, I was worried he would lack consistency and poise. I think he's shown both this season, even though he struggled a bit in recent weeks. I've got Ty Gibbs at number 9. Finally, at long last, Alex Bowman is back in the top 10. I've got him at number 8. He ran up inside the top 10 with his Hendrick teammates almost all day at Dover, got a solid 8th place finish. He's tied for 9th in the regular season standings, 5 top 10 finishes the past 7 weeks. That's pretty good. It's been a while, but I'm finally starting to buy Alex Bowman as a weekly top 10, top 5 threat. A win, perhaps, could be coming. For now, I have Bowman in the 8th spot. At number 7, I'll stick with Ryan Blaney. He is by far the most consistent Ford driver week in, week out. Sunday at Dover, he led 47 laps, earned 10 points in the stages, a solid 7th place result. I believe he's 7th in the regular season standings, so he's 7th in my power rankings, straight 7s. This weekend at Dover, though, really highlighted to me the disparity between Blaney and a lot of the other Fords. Like his teammate Joey Logano ran 20th much of the afternoon. Why is there such a huge gap there? Penske needs to get to the bottom of things. Chase Elliott also holds serve in the number 6 position this week. Solid top 5 run at Dover, but it's hard for me to move him forward because, Truex finished better than him. Larson, Hamlin finished better than him. William Byron led like 40 laps. Chase Elliott is now in the mix almost every single week, but I don't think he quite has the consistent speed to break into that top tier. But he's in the mix, which means if a few things go his way, like what happened at Texas, he could win almost any given week. Getting into the top 5, Tyler Reddick. Ran well at Dover, but not quite as well as the top JGR and HMS cars. I feel like Dover in recent seasons has been a good indicator of who the fastest overall teams are throughout the season. I think Tyler Reddick is right there with Chase Elliott. They're both in the mix almost every single week, could win any given week, but they don't have quite the consistent speed, or in Reddick's case, the consistent enough pit crew to break into that tippy top 4 or so. I think 5th is a good spot for Tyler Reddick. At number 4, I've got Martin Truex Jr. If the Dover race was today, I'm sure Martin Truex Jr. would win. Instead, he still drove from 15th to 1st to win the opening stage, earned the most stage points of anyone yesterday, finished 3rd despite some light damage on the nose. He still doesn't have a win this season, but he's right there more times than not. He's 2nd in the regular season standings. I really like what I've seen from Martin Truex Jr. this year. Despite being winless, I think he's deserving of that number 4 spot without question. This is where things might get more controversial. At number 3, I've got William Byron. He had top 5 speed at Dover, but an early mistake by his pit crew put him mid-pack, and unlike his teammate Kyle Larson, unlike Martin Truex Jr., Byron was never able to work his way forward. Then, of course, he got caught up in the Reddick, Zane Smith, Bubba Wallace crash on that late restart. Bad finish at Dover for William Byron, but he has been one of the most consistent finishers all season long. That being said, though, he has 0 stage wins. In fact, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick all have more stage points than Byron. Byron has 3 wins, tied for the most in the series, 3 top 10s, tied for the most in the series, but he's 6th in the regular season standings. That's why I've got him in the number 3 spot. Moving into the 2 spot this week is Denny Hamlin. He now has 3 wins himself, tied with Byron for the most in the Cup Series. He's 4th in the regular season points. He's earned the 3rd most stage points. He's got the 2nd most laps led. Oh, and I forgot to mention, he also won the Clash to open the season and was side by side for the lead at Phoenix and Texas before spinning. Denny Hamlin is all or nothing. And that works in modern day NASCAR. 5 playoff points for a win? Yeah, go for it. If the playoffs began today, Denny Hamlin would be the 2 seed behind Larson, which is why in my power rankings, I have Denny Hamlin in the number 2 spot behind number 1 Kyle Larson. He didn't win on Sunday, but Larson was extremely impressive. Started 21st, drove through the pack, won stage 2. He has 3 times as many stage wins as anyone else in the Cup Series. He's also earned 126 stage points this year. Nobody else is in triple digits. Larson still has the most laps led this season, and he had the best car at the end of Sunday's race. Just lost the lead on that second to last restart and had a hard time getting past Denny Hamlin, who clearly had the aero advantage. Still very impressive. I think Larson is consistently the fastest car in the NASCAR Cup Series most weeks. He's the points leader. He's number 1 on my power rankings. There you go. We shuffled some names around this week, introduced a couple new names there in the back end of the top 10. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there anyone I omitted? I had to bump Brad Keselowski out this weekend after a rough day at Dover. Let me know down in the comment section below if you agree or disagree with my top 10. I always love reading your comments. One of my favorite new show segments every single week. I hope you guys have been enjoying them as well. But that's going to do it for today's episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe, hit that button down there if you're new to the channel and love all things NASCAR. And a big thank you to my very generous Patreon supporters. I will see you again likely tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday, folks. Thanks for tuning in.